Hello, beautiful family. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And on this episode, I'm going to be making some native egusi soup in my grandma's style. Let's go. And these are the ingredients that I'll be using that is just displaying here. These are the beef, pepper, maggi, salt, egusi fish, stockfish, native maggi. Let's go. That is me trying to put the beef together to steam the beef. For egusi soup, this native kind of way, when you're steaming the beef, you don't need curry, you don't need thyme. All you just need is just your pepper, onions, garlic, ginger, maggi, and we go. That is me steaming the beef, and I've already added stock fish into the beef so that everything can steam properly, so that I don't have nothing not to steam. All right, let's go. Yeah, I said the native way, my grandma, I didn't even say it properly, my grandma native way style. Growing up with my grandma was the best, and there are different kind of ways that she normally cook egusi soup. But each time I try to make it, to recreate that my grandma way, sometimes it always go left. Probably this time around it will go right. So let's begin. So this means steaming the beef here. So I put the beef on fire. So let it get steamed for a bit, and me preparing the egusi. When my grandma prepare egusi sometimes, now I'm thinking, does egusi normally bring oil anymore? Because each time my grandma make this kind of egusi soup, and when she go through it with a stone, I don't know if anybody remember the stone, this stone they use in the village. Yeah, you will see a lot of oil coming out of egusi. Trust me, I have tried several times. I have never seen one tiny bit of oil. Now I'm thinking, does egusi have oil anymore, or I can't just get it properly the way my grandma always do it? But this time around, I just give it a try in my own way. So I already blended the egusi. So now I blend the onions. But when my grandma always do it with the onions, I remember after blending the egusi, it will blend the egusi again with the onions and make it very thick. And that's when the oil will start coming out. But we are in another world now, so I just have to recreate the way I can. So just this is just me trying to mush the egusi and the onions together to see if any tiny bit of oil will come aside. So me mushing and mushing and mushing and mushing. My brother, my sister, I mush, I don't see any oil. But I just did it the way I can. So yeah, I've already mushed the oil to get the egusi together. I put it aside. There was not any tiny bit of oil, but at least it came together. Then me blending the pepper and the onions for the egusi soup. And there are different ways of cooking egusi soup. Some people don't even add tomatoes at all. So like I said, there are different patterns. This is just me trying to recreate my grandma pattern to see if I can, because there are sometimes you just be tasting of that kind of food, but you try to get it, and sometimes you get it, sometimes you get something similar. So yeah, this is the pattern of my the way my grandma cook. One of the pattern of the way my grandma cook the egusi soup back then in the village when I was with her. So I'm just trying to recreate it. So the beef is cooked. I'm trying to fry the egusi, put the pot on fire. But sometimes you don't fry the egusi, the oil. But I decide to fry the tomatoes here, because I notice if you don't fry the tomatoes sometimes, or you use it to cook sometimes and it doesn't cook properly, it will be slapping. It will have some sour taste. So let me just use another pattern. So fry the onions a bit and pour in the tomatoes so that it will fry a bit. Yeah, this is just me frying the tomatoes and everything. So I will start cooking. Let's go. All right, after the stir fry bit, you start adding your fish, any kind of fish you have. So I have a little bit of catfish. So this is me adding to the stew so that everything will cook together. So I add it up. They put a little bit of grounded crayfish for the spice, the taste to come out nice. And besides, I've already added the native Maggi. They call it Iru. So I just call it native Maggi. They add it and stir it together and let everything cook for a bit. While the soup is cooking, you can add just a little bit of Maggi into it and a little bit of salt just to cook this a bit, because there is already salt and Maggi on the meat stock, which you'll be adding a little bit, but you don't need too much. So you just add tiny bits, then stir together and cover it for let it cook for a bit. You have to constantly keep checking it so you don't want it to get burned at the bottom. So you stir it a bit, you turn it a bit, then leave it, let it cook for a bit. I think at this part is where I'm adding the stock, here the meat stock, so that everything can boil properly before you start adding your egusi. When the sauce have boiled a bit, so you can start adding your egusi on it, stir it a bit. Then the egusi that you mash together, then you start cutting it and start adding to the soup little by little, like a space. Let's just keep adding it to the sauce little by little so that everything can cook in properly. Then after adding it up, then you just cook for a while. You come, you stir to check it. You can see, you see the nuts. How am I supposed to say this now? You see the way the egusi is standing on its own. That's the process we're going for. While the soup is cooking, you can go ahead and start slicing your leaf, any kind of leaf you want to use. I was so happy I was able to get some fresh green leaf. Yeah, this is me preparing the leaf, slicing it up, then wash it before the soup get ready, because the soup is almost ready. Yo, here we go. Let's check the result of our egusi pattern of our grandma way. So yeah, now you have to scoop the egusi out of the soup, because you have to mash it again to the way you want it, because you don't want it to be too smooth, at the same time you don't want it to be too big. So now, yeah, you scoop them out of the soup, then you mash it. Yeah, you see how the way I mash it together with just little bit of pan. Yeah, use me just mashing it to the way I want it to be. When you're satisfied the way you want the egusi to come out, then you put it back inside the soup. So let it boil together. Then you see the difference between when you fry the egusi and when you do it this pattern. Like I said, there are different patterns of cooking the egusi soup. This is just me trying to recreate my grandma pattern. Yeah, after putting the egusi, then you can add the meat. Like, remember the meat you took out there, you can add the meat inside the soup so that everything will boil together, so that everything will be tasting nice. Add a bit of water so it will not be too thick. Yeah, stir it together and leave it, let it cook for a while. Yeah, you can see a little bit of difference in the egusi soup, this pattern and different pattern. And this is me just trying to recreate one of my grandma recipe of cooking egusi soup. Yeah, hopefully when you try it, it work. Yeah, this me. So the egusi soup is almost done. So the last ingredient you add in the egusi soup is the leaf. Any kind of leaf you're using, be it bitter leaf or spinach, any kind of leaf you want to use, is the last recipe you add to the soup. So this is just me adding the last recipe to the soup, which is the green leaf. Then you stir it together, you leave it to cook for like 2 seconds or 2 minutes. Yeah, egusi soup is ready. Oh, my grandma recipe work. One pattern of my grandma recipe works, because my grandma have different kind of recipe to cook egusi soup, and each time I want to cook it, she will arrange everything first before you start cooking the egusi, everything. Wow, and the process is always long. Hopefully this helped. Ciao, thanks for watching, thanks for staying through to the end, and I'll see you next time. Please subscribe and comment. Ciao. This is one pattern of cooking Nigeria native egusi soup. Ciao!